don't have creep under there. You have the ability to micro out banelings, things like that. I mean, that was critical.
You just can't emphasize enough how just earth-shatteringly gigantic that creep spread was. The instant Drewbie stepped into mid, he killed off every single creep tumor, and it took almost a full 2 minutes for it to begin to start receding. And two queens just wandered up and started spreading the creep yet again. So Drewbie, I think, is going to have to ramp this up and do some sort of two-base timing. I would anticipate the sort of fast gas play where he ends up getting the reactored Hellion and then goes into that Hellion Marine medevac push. That's kind of the aggressive Terran opening du jour.
You know, it's so interesting, real quick, to go back to this, to have Muta actually reincorporated into the overall metagame. And you might ask yourself, why is Muta actually back in here? And the main reason why I was kicked out was the 2-2 timing push of Terran. Like, they would just do a ton of damage, trade with equal upgrades, and then have even more coming into you. And, you know, Zergling, Baneling, Muta being that very, very brittle army, not too good when you get to that 200-200 area. They just can't keep up with the constant waves. They need to be super far ahead if they want to live. Well, Zergs now realize that 2-2 timings can be countered by not units, but creep spread. And it's starting to be the 2-2 timing actually first attacks just to get position. And then it needs to wait, and then attacks to actually attack. And that's why we've seen this recent resurgence. I mean, Red has been a huge supporter of that. And it's really quite fantastic. I mean, Scarlett just showed us last game the power of creep spread and how it actually defends against pushes, not your units.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that Zergs across the board are starting to realize, that the creep spread isn't just some bonus. You know, it's not this generally good thing to have. That in fact it needs to be well thought out. You need to plan for it, and particularly on Antiqua's Shipyard, even though it's considered somewhat of a turtley map, want to be going for 3 bases, almost guaranteed to get 3 bases. That middle is damn tiny. Going for that fast third opening also coincides well with the big creep spread. This is a map where with these 2 angles, Drewbie can quite honestly just choose whichever has less creep spread, almost certainly going to be the rightmost path on this map, and push from that angle.
Yeah, but again, Drewbie is doing this really quick 3 command center type play. Now, I do agree that you need to do some sort of 3 command center play. I just don't necessarily agree the way this is actually being turned out. And the main reason why I say that is because, again, as you were saying, creep spread, the 2 different angles, you need to limit that as much as possible. So I would actually say give up a little bit of economy so that you can maintain that creep spread as much as possible. But with this, it's almost certain that, you know, Zerg at least gets to start out around the Xel'Naga Tower, a little bit before the Xel'Naga Tower, and then going into the mid-game, you're fighting over there.
Look at this. Early freaking third base from Scarlett, who went for the hatch first pool opening. Not going to mess around, instantly goes into this play, and we see Scarlett. These 2 queens at the front both did a round of larva on those hatcheries and then immediately spreading the creep down at the front door. Scarlett doing just a magnificent little open. I think this is the perfect map to do it on.
Exactly.
Drewbie and now going for the reactored Hellion.
This isn't like some sort of all-in meta game or mind game. This is an Overlord saw the 3rd command center, and now she's making the perfect decisions directly after that. That's awesome to see. And a lot of players don't have the ability to actually read. I mean, they can read it after the game, but to do it in the game, that's a real talent. And that's why I'm really emphasizing Scarlett as such a fantastic player, and she needs more followers, Twitter followers, everything.
Do you know what her Twitter is? I mean, I'm happy to plug it.
I think, gosh, I don't know it offhand.
Well, I'm sure that in the chat, if people can just spam the Twitters of both these players, I mean, Drewbie, of course, having performed so well in the early MLGs, was always in the top brackets due to having so many ranking points, and now here, performing so brilliantly at WCS Canada in the top 6 over many players like Ostoji, Huck, etc. Now battling his heart out against Scarlett, such an incredible player, and it looks like Drewbie is literally going to do a repeat of what we saw last game. Scarlett also going to do the repeat, but I think Scarlett's is much more of a response, and Drewbie's is much more of a, this is just what I'm freaking going to do.
Yeah. And again, you can see, I mean, the creep is just so far forward this game, and it's because of the openings. And Ohana, I mean, you said it best, like, if you don't have coverage on this map, if you give up the creep spread, what you effectively do is say, I have really tough push decisions. I don't have a good way to actually go about this because the 4th base and the 5th
Drewbie is actually
base,
darting up into the main, and amazingly, Scarlett doesn't have zergling speed, and whoopsie daisies, looks like Scarlett may have gotten a little bit over-eager and is going to take some pretty heavy losses. We see that zergling speed still has 15 more seconds. It's plenty of time to roast these drones. How is Scarlett's splitting ability? Good enough to only take 1 loss, 2 losses coming up right now, and this is a nice drone. Oh!
Wow.
Andre, she lined him up.
7 workers killed so far, and these Hellions will surely be cleaned up. I actually think I think that was not good for Drewbie. I think that was actually terrible for him. Yes, the workers killed was so important, but the big problem is this creep spread. And I keep going. I'm like a creep spread whore or something, man. I love creep spread. I think I live and die by it. When I was playing Zerg, that's all I freaking did. I was like a TLO with worse macro. And you're still really, really effective because of it. You know, it gives your units the potential, your Banelings the ability to get in. It increases the DPS slightly of your Zerglings just because they can dart in faster. It's so important to have this, and it saves you the troubles. It's like a mini map hack as well.
And it looks like Drewbie is going to follow it up with this Banshee at the left, and still, I don't know. Ugh. I'm literally going to say the same thing I said last game. Yuck. We see that this Banshee is trying to do a little bit of scoot and shoot, do some damage to this Queen, but just an essentially ineffective Banshee. We didn't even see it reincorporated back into the attack. Scarlett now stepping into the fray with a lot of those Queens that do have enough energy for a transfuse this time. 3rd base has not been taken by Drewbie. Look at that. You know, it's all about the creep, Andre.
It's all about the creep, baby.
Look at that creep at the 3rd and 4th.
Oh, my God.
Loving that creep.
And again, he's following it up with mainly bio, which is the correct transition, I think, and double upgrading behind this. So
it is possible to transition this into mech, and I think of all maps, Ohana might be the most comfortable meching map for a Terran player against a Zerg, especially when you have the Hellion Banshee opening. But once again, looking in the middle of the map, we see 6 Hellions. We talked about 8 being a sort of magical containment number where you feel very comfortable given the size of Lings, and we're about to see what happens when you lose focus in mid-map, losing every single Hellion, about to lose the Banshee, and Drewbie could not be in a worse position. I mean, look at the resources lost. Really doesn't reveal the underlying issues that Drewbie's going to struggle with, and it looks like another Banshee might die down here at the 3rd base.
Day 9, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Drewbie would have reacted to that if he wasn't on creep.
Oh my gosh, another Banshee falls. Scarlett is playing so
creep,
well.
Bro. It's the creep.
Dude, the creep is just spotting everything, and, you know, talking a little bit at the start of this match about the push angles. As Scarlett takes the left expansion, the creep spread will begin to skew left, making the right position the most friendly for Drewbie's units. But of course, on the right side, there are not as nearly many Zerg bases. And at this point in time, I mean, I would say that Scarlett is in complete and total control. What does Drewbie need to do to get back into this game?
It's difficult from here. I think he actually needs a turtle in 200 and just receive everything effectively. There are 0 timing pushes now. I mean, you have to just push out alone just to get the creep. So there needs to be a very slow, gradual, you know, effective army composition that deals with everything Zerg is doing. Most of the time in this position, I would say Terrans are so far behind. And this is the #1 thing that Terrans have had such a big trouble with, even before the patch, even before the Queen change. The Queen change just emphasized it because there was such a huge amount of Queens that are coming out onto the map. This is just a big problem. Having the creep all the way down here, you need just some sort of miracle drop, continuation drop, whatever it might be. There needs to, well, I've said it. He needs to get a Ghost Academy, a nuke, and then nuke the Zerg army, and then push.
Yeah, I mean,
there you go.
It's just, as long as you get the money nuke.
That's how you can win, man.
And I mean, look at Scarlett's creep spread. I mean, it has made it to the top of Reddit a number of times, and of course, there's no doubt in my mind that we will be seeing it yet again. I mean, especially note, it's not just the creep spread. We're at 14 minutes, and if you go to Drewbie's vision, he sees the front line of the creep just outside his vision.
That's so sad to see.
That is the sickest creep spread ever. And we see the 3-3 upgrades coming. At 92 drones, we see Scarlett correctly building more. We'll surpass 100 drones. There it is, 102 drones. And this is a very nice technique for Zergs to do. Right before you get Broodlords, you surpass 100. That allows you to saturate 5 geysers, 5 bases, and then you can flood 30 or so Spore/Spine Crawlers, be back down to that money 75, and still have enough friendly food to get that HiveTech up.
And it looks like a little bit of push, but Sean, I mean, this could all have been prevented. I say this so nonchalantly.
Yeah, this could have been prevented by not suiciding those Hellions at the start and just focusing on containing.
Exactly. Just contain the creep. That's all you need to do. That's the purpose of it. You've already established equality within your drone count, your SCV count, with getting the very fast third command center. There's no need to play from here. And now what's going to happen is Scarlett, again, starts from HiveTech. She doesn't have to do anything else. She just starts with, what is this, 10 gas? 10 gas HiveTech? Are you kidding me? 6 Beardlords immediately made, and that is like the brunt of her army. That is so scary because there's total efficiency in there. There's everything is going good, whereas Drewbie still has, you know, a lot of Marines and Marauders. Marauders don't do that well against flying units.
And there's another attempt by Drewbie to try to land at that third base. Scarlett with a very nice counterattack. Drewbie is just so slowly scanning, stepping forward. Ghost Academy going down, a 5th command center going down in the main base. Drewbie still, nice pick there, managing to get those 2 queens, and the Broodlord's now stepping into the fray. And Drewbie is in a world of trouble. He unsieges the tanks, immediately pulls back. Small number of Baneling and Zergling Infestor moving up the right flank.
And this is beautiful. One thing I want to note that's so great about Scarlett is she incorporates Baneling. So many times I see Zergs not incorporating Banelings. You need a way to burst down those Marines immediately, especially you know, players that don't get any Vikings. You got to punish that. And fungal growths are nice, but make sure that those Broodlords stay alive, because as soon as everything gets thinned out, you're in a really tough spot.
Drewbie's making a dangerous tactical play. He's going to try to sprint up here, but look at that wall of spine crawlers that he runs directly into. One of the big benefits of those drones, the fungals. The Banelings dart right in. Another refungal. A brutal one-sided battle. 14 more Corruptors in the mix. Scarlett taking virtually no damage, and that unit's lost tab doubling the opponent. We see Drewbie now attempting to take another base. Has not even landed either his 4th or 5th command centers. Drewbie looks like he will be yet another top Canadian player to fall to the superstar Scarlett.
Yeah, she's just... I wouldn't even call it an upset at this point. I mean, this is actually, I would say, predicted or at least even. Scarlett's just been showing her worth time and time again. And now taking out the likes of Drewbie, who's had a fantastic run taking out Otero just before this. She's going to move in here, but it's, what, 3 base against 5 base still.
We do see that there are a good amount of starports up. 1, 2 factories, a 3rd one also at the 3rd base, but the Ling Infestor stepping right into the fray. The Broodlords raining down hell from above, and there's all the Corruptors stepping right in. The 2 Vikings that are on point are immediately cleaned up, and there's the good game, good luck. Scarlett advances to the winner's bracket final of WCS Canada.
Congratulations to her. She'll be joining, who did we just Doro.
Yeah, Doro. We'll see if Doro can manage to do what Huck didn't and defeat Scarlett. But either way, the most significant question is who will advance between TT1 and Huck. Oh my gosh, have the results. Huck eliminated from WCS will not be representing Canada.
Are you kidding me?
Huck,
wow.
Oh my god, my heart bleeds for Huck. 3-0'd by
losses.
Alicia, 2-0'd by TT1. This means that TT1 will be representing Canada. Huck out in 12th place in this tournament.
Very crushing blow to Huck. I know he's been up and down in his game, but you know, throughout the North American Star League, I thought he's been playing really, really well. The first week was okay, but after that, he was just on fire, and he was showing really good form.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. He was in 10th. I think he's fine.
Okay.
I think he's okay. It depends on how this bracket is to be read. He did lose to TT1. That is
certain.
I'm unsure. I'm actually unsure. I mean, I literally glanced over at the brackets and saw a loss, and I was pretty sure that match was for the money. But gosh, that is a painful spot to be in. And it looks like with all the screaming that's going on outside, I am real excited to find out what's going on the other screen.
But anyway, we're gonna actually be back. I actually have to go cast the main stage.
I have to go back and be doing pre- and post-game interviews. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. I'm Day9.
I'm Greytorp.
And we'll see you later for more Cast and WCS action.